Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. Recently, The Sims announced that starting on October 18th, the Sims 4 base game is going to be free to play for everyone. And so I decided in celebration of that, I wanted to create another base game home that will be available to download for those of you that are just going to be able to pick up the game at that time, or maybe you already have just base game. I wanted to create something that new players could go ahead and grab right off the gallery and play with as soon as they get their hands on the game next month. And so that is what we're doing here today. I kind of regularly do base game builds, but every once in a while it's fun to just do another one. So this one, I just wanted to have an interesting roof line. I wanted it to be a fairly spacious interior, and it ends up being a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom house, like 3.5 bath, but you can't have half baths in the gallery listing, so 4 baths. And I decided to make this for a family that has multiple generations here. I was thinking that there was a grandparent or grandparents that were living here, as well as a teen, a child, and a toddler. And of course, it is all just base game. So I hope you will enjoy this build. If you do and you'd like to download it, you can find it under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You could also find it under the hashtag MissGryphi, and that information will also be in the description down below as well. I know I'm really excited that we're going to have more players jumping on into The Sims 4 as the game is going free. I'm also really interested in what the announcement is going to be at the Sims Summit stream. Let me know what you are thinking. I know I've been asking this in the last couple of videos, but I want to have conversations about this. I'm so interested, and like talking about The Sims is one of my favorite things. So let me know what you're thinking. I want to know what to expect for The Sims 4. Is The Sims 5 coming? Like, what packs can we expect currently? I have so many questions. Anyway, here I am just adding one bump out over on the side to fill up the lot a little bit better. And then I changed the swatch of the windows to be this white swatch. This is actually a window that was originally supposed to be in the industrial loft kit, or it wasn't supposed to be in it. They misjudged and they advertised it as having this window, but it was a different window, and they showed both of them off, but only the other window was there. So then they added this one to base game. If that makes sense, it's a little confusing, but I'm really happy to have it in base game. It's so pretty. And I paired it with these shuttered windows, and we have a nice red door. I will be changing that though, because I played with the colors of this home forever. I was really into the shape, but I was stuck not really sure how I felt about the build for a while because of the color. And I ended up changing it, and it ends up being a lot more brown on the exterior, but I think it looks so cozy and warm. And that's just kind of the vibe I've been going for lately, as we are almost in autumn now here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's only, 5 days away? I believe the 22nd of September is when fall starts, and that's actually my rabbit's birthday as well, so it'll be Wednesday's 6th birthday, which is quite exciting. Anyway, I'm working on the floor plan now. I did cut out some of this because I completely failed at it multiple times. I could not figure out how to make the floor plan work, and I figured out the upstairs pretty quickly, but then the downstairs was a disaster, and it took me a couple of different tries. So I showed you a little bit of that, and it came together in the end. It's a little bit of a funky one. There's like some strange shaped rooms, but overall I'm pretty happy with it. I really like how this house came out, and I think it's fun to have strange shaped rooms anyway. It adds more character to a build. So just adding some trees and landscaping now, and then the outside colors should be changing here. Yeah, there they are. I think the brown just looks so much nicer. It's way more inviting and warm, and I was really happy that I went ahead and changed that. And then I got some more windows over on the side, and we're figuring out the back porch area. I decided to make it a large back porch, and there ends up being quite a few activities out here. There's not really a big backyard space because I opted for a little bit of a bigger front yard, and this isn't that big of a lot. This is one of the ones in Newcrest. This is Hillside Highlands. You can see it in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, and I try my best to include that information in the description as well, if you're ever wondering where I have something placed. Anyway, I was imagining there was kids in this house, so I did add some monkey bars, as that's one of the outdoor activities we do have in base game, and Just getting some more plants and stuff around here. I do also end up fencing in the backyard. It's very small, but I do fence it in just because it felt a little bit too open. So I'm doing that now. And I also enjoyed adding some purple flowers throughout. I thought the purple went so nicely with the brown. Something about that color combination has always made me really happy, and just moving this tree. Actually, I do delete that tree here shortly, and then I add it back at the very end of the builds because it was getting in my way to decorate and I was getting frustrated with it. So out front, I am using some of this debug fence to go ahead and frame out the yard. I also used it on the front porch and under the windows over on the left of the build. I just thought it looked really nice here. It was a nice accent piece, and I'm using the tool mod to go ahead and lower those into the ground so they're not sticking up so far. And then we're back out the back of the build and decorating the back porch. So just getting a 4-seater table and chairs with an umbrella. I believe we also get a barbecue and like just some additional seating spaces and a trash can and stuff. I think also some planters. There's not a whole lot of decorations, or not decorations, there's plenty of decorations, but there's not a ton of activities for your Sims to do outside with just the base game. So I was just trying to make this as full as I possibly could with what we had. So just getting these tables over here. I do have a stereo out here because I thought that that would be nice to play some music. I don't typically do that in other builds because seasons, the rain would destroy that. But since this is just base game, I thought it was okay. There's the trash can and the planters. I also have like a decorative planter over on the other corner, and then we're heading on inside. And actually starting with the living room decoration today, which is a little bit different. I pretty much always start with the kitchen, but we're starting with the living room today and using a rug I never use. But I thought the brown and beige swatch here looked quite nice, but I am using the couch that I always use in base game homes. It's just so nice. It looks so comfortable and normal. It's hard to like use one of the other ones that don't look comfy. I really enjoy this, and I wish we had more comfortable couches in The Sims 4 that looked really comfy. We've gotten a few recently. The one in the most recent kit looks super comfy, and there's been more with like blankets and pillows and stuff on them, but I still want some more comfy couches. Anyway, I am adding a lot of plants in here. We have a big coffee table. I grabbed these cabinets to put behind the couch, kind of lining under the window as a sill to put a bunch of plants on. And I'm using the red shelf to go ahead and place those. I don't think I've explained the red shelf in a while, so if you're unfamiliar, this red shelf is a piece of custom content that I use that allows me to place items more precisely. I can kind of snap more things to it and move it around to place things at whatever height I would like to. It is custom content, but I don't leave it in my game, and you don't need it in order to download the build. So no worries there, but if you're interested in playing around with it and testing it out and all of that, it is always linked in my description down below if you'd like to download it. And I also have a tutorial in my tutorials playlist on the best ways to use it because it can be a little bit confusing at first. So if you're interested in that, that is all linked down below. Anyway, over here, I decided to add another table in the middle of the tables. So this is a lot of coffee tables in here, just so many coffee tables to act as like a little tray to put a light and a plant on. I thought that that looked quite cute. And then just grabbing a lamp and some books to put under the TV on this little side table here, which is another really beautiful item in base game. That one was actually created by CC creator Peacemaker and then added to the official game. So it's not CC in this, but it was made by somebody who makes CC. They are super talented. I would highly recommend Peacemaker's stuff. But anyway, we're moving on into the kitchen now, of course, using this more traditional counter set. It's probably my favorite of the base game ones, and decided to have the stove over on the other side. We have our fridge and our sink over on the connected like L-shaped counters. And I really liked the tile I used in here. It's a deep brown that has a couple of different swatches to it, or a couple of different shades of brown. And I've just never used it before because it's such a dark color, but I thought it worked in here. So pretty happy with that. And then carrying on the theme of lots of plants everywhere in this kitchen, just grabbing a few of those over by the window and a microwave and just trying to fill up the space. I was really happy with how this kitchen came out because I felt kind of limited with the amount of decorations I had because of there being certain items that I always use in kitchens that I didn't have. I mean, shout out to the cutting boards, but I was pleasantly surprised with how I was able to decorate that room. But anyway, moving into the dining space, which is right off of the living room and also the room the staircase is in that leads you on to the upper level of this home. I decided to have just a 4-seater table, even though you could probably have more Sims than that in this household, because it was a really small space, and typically my Sims don't always eat meals together. I don't know if yours do, but there is this space, and then there is the outside dining area as well. So you have options. Oh, and also the kitchen dining. There's lots of seats in this house for your Sims to go ahead and sit down and eat dinner or breakfast or lunch or whatever meal. But I do have a fireplace in here, and I used a tool to rotate this mirror above it. It was giving me quite a headache, but I figured it out in the end. And then this is going to be the downstairs bathroom. This is the only bathroom I show in the build, but there are 4 bathrooms. 3 of them are full baths, and 1 is a half bath, and 1 of them does have a shower tub combo, which is important because I did decorate one of the bedrooms to be for a toddler. And I also made sure to include a toddler potty in one of the bathrooms. So no worries on that. It's just the only one I'm showing is this one. They're all pretty small, so they weren't anything too exciting. But I am still hoping to do some sort of build sometime soon that has like a super fancy, luxurious bathroom, because just not something I really do in my builds. And I think it'd be a little bit different. I have been thinking about doing something that's like a super modern home, like on the water, maybe in Sulani, or we don't really have another spot that's like on the water. The closest thing would probably be Brindleton Bay or the island in Windenburg, but something to that effect I have kind of been itching to do. So maybe something like that sometime soon. If you have any specific suggestions, do let me know. I'm always interested in hearing those, and I've been having a lot of fun implementing your ideas into the channel lately. It's just been a blast. I'm having so much fun building. I think it's obvious. I've been posting a lot more. But this is the office space. I just have a bookcase, a desk with a computer, a cork board in here, a couple of plants. Nothing too exciting in here, but I wanted to make sure we had, some items in here for your Sims to have some skill building. I also added an art easel over here with like the little artist table next to it and some drawings over on the wall. Unfortunately, we don't have like a tarp with paint on it in base game. I'm trying to think what pack that came with. City Living or Get Together, maybe? I don't remember which one, but I always forget that is not in base game. So I was sad that I couldn't have that. Anyway, this is the primary bedroom, the only bedroom on the bottom floor, and I was just trying to figure out how to make it match the rest of the house. I do feel very limited by the beds in base game, especially for like adult bedrooms. Like kids and stuff, it's fun. There's the goofy things that we have, and you can have some fun with those swatches and posters and all of that. But I did feel very limited in this bedroom, and it is quite neutral, but I do like how it came out in the end. I like the bedspread that I chose, and also I found this wallpaper, which I ended up moving out throughout the entire rest of the house. And I think it looks so nice. It's just got like a warmer tone to it and kind of matches the bedspread quite well. And then I just got this matching set that matches the bed and bedside tables. It's a complete matching set in this room, but I think it worked out. And this is something you can customize over time as your Sims get more money or you install other packs, all of that sort of thing. Feel free to customize any of my builds whenever, like download them, play with them, do whatever. If you ever want to tag me on Twitter in screenshots, if you're playing with any of my builds, I would love to see that. I'm Miss Gryphi over on Twitter, just like everywhere else, and I'd love to interact. Anyway, this is the toddler bedroom. I think it came out so cute. It's got neutral vibes like the rest of the house as well. We have some like greens and browns in here. The wallpaper has bunnies, dinosaurs, and elephants on it, which is kind of a funny combo because like the bunny is the same size as the elephant and the dinosaur. And I like to think about that. I like to think of a giant bunny rabbit because I have 2 bunnies and they are very special to me. I love rabbits. And just the idea of them being that big is hilarious. Oh gosh, if they thumped, that would be painful. If you don't know what that means, rabbits, when they get startled or angry or upset, they'll like stamp their back foot really hard on the ground. It's quite loud. And it's called thumping, and it's very cute too. They think they're being very menacing, I guess. But it's just kind of funny because it's like a 3-pound bunny being like, I'm anger. And it's usually over something like, I moved the litter box because I needed to clean it. Anyway, this is going to be the grandparents' bedroom. I used the sunflower bed, which I think is so pretty. I think this is an unlock from one of the careers, maybe the artist career. I'm not sure entirely. And the room that I sectioned off here, the little square next to this room, is going to be a half bath that the grandparent has to themselves. I do not show decorating it on camera though, because I decided while I was decorating this room to add that in there. And I had already previously decorated all of the other bathrooms off camera. So I just left it and then I finished it after the rest of the build. So that is decorated. It will be included in the build. And I also am just realizing now that I hadn't added a door. So I just wanted to make sure your Sims could actually get in there. And this room is actually pretty bright. We have a lot of yellows in here, which I thought was really fun. Quite a bit of personality. This could be one or two grandparents, but I was kind of imagining grandma. That's just the vibes I was getting in here, like a very cheerful lady with her sunflower obsession. I love it. I really like this bed. Of the base game ones, this is probably one of my favorites. Yeah, probably. It's just so cute. Anyway, this is going to be the kid and teenagers room. It's a very weird shape, but I loved how the front of the house looked, so I wanted to keep that like dormer piece there. So I had to figure out how to make it work. So I ended up having bunk beds in here. I was thinking the bottom bunk was the teen and the upper bunk was the child. The teen's really into music. The child is still trying to figure out what they're into. We have a big dollhouse in here. I started down by adding the castle one, but I do swap it out for the more modern dollhouse in the end. But it's such a big item and it feels like nicely tucked away over in that back corner. So I decided that was a good spot for it. And then we just have a desk in here with like an old PC, some posters, a big toy for your Sims to play with. It's the dinosaur one. I think it's quite cute. And then I think a bedside table and another poster maybe. And that should be it for this room and it for this build. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you have not already and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Thank you so very much for watching. Enjoy the screenshots and I'll see y'all soon. Bye everyone.